have hyacinths, we have a red tulip, look at those beautiful tulips. Hi everyone, welcome. It's Michelle in Illinois in Garden Zone 5. So glad you're here today. Welcome back, or if you're new, welcome. We're so glad to have you joining us. So today we are doing our first garden tour of the season. It's mid-April. We've been working over the last few days getting all those winter seedlings that I grew inside planted out. I had them out for the last week or so, and they had hardened off. They were ready to go out in the ground, and they just weren't doing very well in their little containers, so I did want to get them planted, so got those planted. Cleaned out the garden house, got the garden stuff back out into the garden, did some sprucing up in the garden house, did a little refresh in there. It looks really nice because we will be filming in there again. Worked on the new cut flower garden. My husband was a huge help with that and did some projects I want to show you out there. It's looking fabulous. A lot to do still, but we're off to a good start. And then I want to take you up front to the Mailbox Garden, because if you recall last fall, if you've seen the last fall video, and I'll link it below for you if you missed it, I did a whole bunch of bulbs last fall in the Mailbox Garden to see how well they would do. Well, they are just starting to bloom. So I want to show you the bulbs up there and give you a little peek at the front porch makeover that I did a couple weeks ago. The front urns, they're looking really springy and pretty. And you can see behind me, the Jane Magnolia has started. She is looking beautiful with her lovely pink blooms on her. So let's get going today. We have a lot of ground to cover. Okay, so we have the morning sun coming up here from the east behind me, so I'm kind of at an angle, but you can see the new cut flower garden behind me. It is really shaping up. So what did we do over the weekend? Well, my husband built me another obelisk, so I love that. Now, will I leave it there in the center? I'm not sure, but right now that's a good spot for it. He also made me two great big 16 by 4 raised beds that I don't even have the potting soil yet, or the raised bed soil yet for. We just got those built. We were back and forth about just planting in the ground or doing raised beds. Well, after doing these raised beds last fall and putting that raised bed soil in it, that's where I've got all the new little seedlings, and then I have some daffodils coming up, some bulbs. Guys, that soil is absolutely fabulous to work in. It is so easy to plant in. And I just, after working in it, I told him I want raised beds here instead of digging in the ground. I just think it will be so helpful, and it ties in very nicely. You can see on this angle from this side, we'll have a nice garden bed over here, we'll have one here, we'll have our 4 in the middle, and things are just starting to come up and look lovely back here. So this will be a huge ongoing project, so I can't wait to get planting more out here. But I just wanted to give you the first glimpse of all the work that we've started. Now there'll be landscape fabric going down in the pathways, and then I'll probably cover that with some mulch, and so just more to come on that. Okay, I did want to give you some close-ups on the urns with the spring flowers. They're still looking beautiful. We have hyacinths, we have a red tulip, we have the pretty daffodils, those gorgeous pansies. Look at that pansy, isn't that pretty? And then the peachy salmon violas with the white alyssum. So they're looking fine, and as they get spent, I will take them out and plant them out into the back garden. Now I know that someone had asked a question about if I let these dry out before I plant them out into the garden. I do not, and I still have very good luck with them coming back every year. Now, are they 100% that they come back? Probably not, but the majority of them do come back. So what I would do is just take them right out of this potting soil and then just transplant them out into the garden. Now the spent blooms I would take off, but I would leave all their green leaves on them to let them give, so that the bulb will have more feeding and energy for next year. Probably throw some biotone or something like that in the planting hole to just help those roots as I, take them out of this and put them into the ground. But like I said, it's a really great way to get double duty out of your spring bulbs if you buy them like I do a lot of times, and like to buy them when they're blooming at the garden center in spring to use in arrangements, and then put them out in your garden for next year for them to come back up. So anyway, this is looking beautiful. You can see the other one. The other urn is looking really pretty. Mr. Rabbit's little basket is still doing good. That was our DIY that we did together. That was that thrift find basket that I found for about $6 and put the curly willow branch on it and then planted that up. Now I will plant that up with annuals before long, and those bulbs will come out and go back to the garden. But so far, everything is looking really pretty up here on the porch. Let's go look out at the mailbox garden. The mailbox garden is just coming to life. Look at those beautiful tulips. Now I also have daffodils, but there's a lot of tulips in there. I've had some crocus already blooming, but so I can't wait. As this blooms more, I will be putting pictures in the community post. And then as the sun comes out today, all of these will open up and it just looks lovely. I did tuck in some seedlings in there to give them a start. So just can't wait until all this blooms up. So far, really happy with how it's looking, that springy look. Well guys, let's go in the backyard now and do a back garden tour. So as we come around this way, you can see the garden window boxes are looking really pretty with those spring bulbs and the English daisies in them. Before long though, we'll be changing those out with annuals. And then over in this corner, I've got my third Jane Magnolia. I planted her last year. She's blooming right now. And you have to imagine eventually she'll fill in this corner really nicely, be 8 to 10 foot tall, and just, I think it'll look really nice back there in that corner. Lots and lots of new baby seedlings You can see that I planted out from my transplants. And can you hear the happy birds this morning? We've got the lady statue out. She does need to be painted. I didn't have a chance to get to that, so we got to give her some touch up. And then I had a lot of bulbs that I had planted out here, which I'll add more to, from the urns and window boxes. And a lot of them are already spent. They were from last year. And I just continually add. And of course, the Jane Magnolia that I just showed you, she is looking really pretty. Her blooms on her. And then when we look down underneath of her, we've got some daffodils that I had planted last season in a video, and we have the new hellebores in the ground, a lot of new little seedlings that I put in. That columbine that I got with you on the thrifting video, I put it over in between the roses. So lots of color here before long. And this has been really helpful for me to be able to see when I do take the window boxes and the urns, the spring bulbs out, where I want to plant them for more color. Oh, and look at this, the lilac. Now this is an old-fashioned lilac, and it is just starting to bloom. And it's got bloom heads all over it and very fragrant. It'll be beautiful, but it is one of those just one-time bloom. It doesn't repeat. But on the other side of the garden, I did plant some repeat bloomer lilacs. So we've got a hyacinth that's about done there, delphinium in the back that's looking good. Here's my other Jane Magnolia. She's doing really nice. She's also new as of last year. And I'm going to, both of the new Jane Magnolias, I will train in tree forms and not have them be shrubs. So if you can envision with me, as I back up, I'll have that Jane Magnolia, the beautiful lilac, and then the new Jane Magnolia. So eventually this one will catch up to the other one, and I think it'll look really nice having both of those. Thanks for hanging out with me today on our first garden tour of the season. I can't wait to see, as the season progresses, the beauty of the flowers in the garden. So if you're looking for more garden inspiration, check out these videos next. Have a great day, everyone.